Yeah, what's up, Devin?
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, better. Yeah, finally getting something turned in, getting some stuff done for this class.
Nice. What do you what did you turned it in already?
Yeah, I turned in Fluency for collections, Hibernate, and
Very good.
JSON, and I'm working.
I just finished working on JSON. I just gotta submit it to GitHub and send it to them.
Yeah, I didn't like JSON at all. It was of all the three that I did, it was way by far the most difficult to look up and figure out how to make sandbox code for.
I don't know. I thought Hibernate was the hardest one to kind of understand just because there's so many parts to it.
I thought I understood hibernate is I thought I understood that a little more than I understood JSON. I don't even know what to really use JSON for other than like passing information. It's supposed to be easier to read for a programmer and it's easier to parse. Other than that, don't know.
Oh, well, I don't know. I kind of took the approach that it's for writing and reading files, better for writing and reading objects into files,
Hmm.
something like that. I mean, that's kind of what I understand JSON to be. It's supposed to be simpler than XML, used for
Mm-hmm.
a lot of languages. And besides that, it seems like it's supposed to be lightweight, really fast, and again, from what I understand, really good for inputting and outputting files, reading and writing files.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote up a little program if you want to see what I did.
Yeah.
So, like in here,
Mm-hmm.
I just like the first half of it, writing a funny little program
Mm-hmm.
um, where we we're basically writing a program that puts into a file uh,
Right.
the this course. If you look here, the major, the course, and the major, and then the topics in the course.
Right.
So I mean, ideally, you could technically use this for filling in a bunch of different majors and or courses with their topics, putting them all into a file, and then
Mm-hmm.
potentially using a different program to kind of go through the file and find more specific courses or topics or whatever. If you wanted to somehow browse through a file, you could probably do it like that. That's what
Yours
I
is
imagine
a
this would
lot
be
more complex
good
than
use for.
mine.
Is it?
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, way more complex than mine. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets you an agree or strongly agree, to be honest.
Not. It wouldn't be a strongly agree. I'm hoping I put a lot more extra time into actually rewriting a sandbox code that I did that I found there. It was some strange sandbox code, but I tried rewrote it and completely changed its functionality. Not completely, it still reads and writes, but everything else in it is completely different.
Hmm.
So I guess technically, yeah, it's a new
It's a
piece of
small
code.
program, man. That's your
It
own
is a small
code.
program.
So that's probably that's I wouldn't be surprised if that's an agree. Yeah, yours is a lot more complex than mine. Mine was like had like I don't remember. Let's see if I can find it. To be honest, yeah, mine just printed things. It didn't even and put it into an object. Didn't write it to a file or anything.
Well, yeah, I think JSON was pretty difficult to figure out what is useful for. Had to do several searches on it just to even figure out what kind of sandbox code I should be looking at doing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it seemed to be in HTML. It wanted you to be putting it into HTML code.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed with a lot of this stuff, and I think to myself, like, there's a lot of it that could be used like on a web server, which, to be honest, if I was going to do any of this stuff on a web server, I'd just use PHP or anything else. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah.
Java's not my favorite. I feel like there's a lot of.
Java's really cool. It's somewhat difficult, but it can be hard to know what pieces of Java you want to use for what kind of programs.
Mhm.
I guess you need a concept for a program that you want to do, and then from there you got to decide if Java is the best tool or if others are better tools. Java just seems to
Right.
be really diverse.
Yeah, there's so much stuff on Java out there. It's easy to research, kind of, but just the amount of stuff that there of people that have talked about it, it's kind of makes it harder to research. Because if you want something specific, nobody. I mean, people talk about tons and tons and broad and specific problems, but that's what.
Lots of more advanced problems, it seems
Yeah,
like.
I just want something simple, and
I
these
know.
people are writing like code that are just like, it just gives me a headache looking at it. So
Yeah, it can be extremely tough to find some really simple code. Just like the most basic demonstration. W3 Schools is good when they actually have the content. So like for HTML, they're really good.
oh yeah,
For a lot of the stuff we're doing, they're not good at all.
no. There's one that I've been using. Where is it at?
Or even SQL in W3 Schools. SQL is really well done there.
Tutorial Points has actually had a lot of stuff that is pretty useful.
I think I've been on there a little bit. I think I was there for Hibernate. I found some good information from there.
Yeah, They have a section on Hibernate. I'm looking through their MVC part right now.
MVC is it's pretty cool. I don't know how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah,
Simply.
that's what I was wondering too. Like I've written 3 files, but MVC, as I understand it, usually isn't there supposed to be like, isn't the model supposed to interact with the database?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, it handles like the back end stuff.
right. The example they give you here, they don't actually have you connect to a database at all. They just
MVC in Java would be a little bit different, I imagine.
yeah. I don't know. The demo that they show here, they say they just make a function that's called retrieve student from database, and then they just pass in the information,
Database.
which is not quite what.
Well, you just need it simple, right? You need
Right?
something
Yeah. Gotta be simple.
affects your. I don't know. You need a class that does your display. You need a class that does back end processing. And then you need a controller, which. Yeah, I feel like it's hard to do with something simple. MVC works best on something medium complexity.
Mm-hmm.
It's too simple. You just don't have enough files and things to do with the files for it to work.
Right.
Much easier, just throw everything in one big class.
Yeah,
So we are broadcasting, by the way.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So if you wanted for anything that you haven't submitted, if you want to take a few minutes and teach, you can do that.
I mean, I guess.
It's up to you. Like if you want to submit in your portfolio for your portfolio, That's, I think, primarily what we're
what
bothering
these
to use
meetings are
these
for.
meetings for.
Yeah. Um. No, I don't really have anything that I really wanna that I think I know well enough to teach. You know what I mean? Like I think I understand it, but I could be very wrong.
Yeah, that's true. All right. You
Um.
mind if I take
No,
two
go for it.
minutes?
Absolutely.
Well, I'll just kind of share what I learned as though um, I'm teaching it to somebody who has no idea, even though it seems like you understand more or less the basics of it. I'll just share what I learned.
Cool.
So basically, for JSON, um, I thought what was really interesting about it is that it stands for JavaScript object notation,
Hmm.
and like thinking about JavaScript, Java's script tends to be more, for one, more HTML based. It works mostly with HTML, I find, and it tends to be a little bit simpler than Java, a little bit easier to use. But besides that, the reasons I found that we're going to use JSON is mostly because it's faster. Well, it's similar to XML, but it's supposed to be lighter and faster, a little bit easier to read and write for most programmers. Um, Something also cool about it is it's a independent language, meaning that it doesn't have other languages that it needs. Kind of like Hibernate, I would say that's a dependent language. You gotta use SQL with it, and so it doesn't work without having a little bit of other understanding or someone else to work another language for you.
Hmm.
But JSON, it sounds to me like it's completely Java based, which makes it easier to learn if all you know is Java. And yeah, and one of the major reasons people seem to use is for inputting and outputting, or like writing files and for reading those files. Uh, that's what I found a sandbox code. Messed with it a little bit and then I rewrote it, but tried to make it my own, make it more advanced. And this is the little program I got. So just kind of a quick walkthrough of it. See if we can walk through it in 30 seconds or a minute. Um, Basically, there's a ton of imports you need. But so for this, I find that you have to create JSON objects. And for those objects, you're going to be kind of coding a name. So like right here, we've got our BYU object and we code a name for it. And then kind of the meat of it,
The
if that
value.
makes sense. It's like this is a string variable and then this is the value. Yeah, exactly. But with JSON, you can do a whole bunch of different kind of values, integers, strings, arrays. So like over here, I did an array of a whole bunch of all the topics we're supposed to learn in the course. Maybe not all,
Hmm.
but most of them. So more or less the point of this program I made was if you were to really move forward and write a more advanced program, you'd be able to catalog the majors. If we look at the output down here, we've got the majors, the courses within the major, and topics that are in that course. And this would all compile into a file. At my file, it writes it here. I just send it straight to my downloads
Hmm.
using here, file, blah, blah, blah. We write it to my downloads folder. It's easiest to find. I don't know if we can open it. Let's just throw it right up here. Too many pop-ups. I don't want all of this. All right. yeah, it just writes it all in JSON format into my file.
Mm-hmm.
From here, we take this file. We'll go back over here. So from here, we're going to take the file. We're going to read the file. Then we're going to iterate through it, grabbing all of the pieces. And so we see that that's going to be here, here, and then this is the final piece down here. So it's kind of like JSON when it writes the file, and then when you read that JSON file, it pieces it together
Right.
with the, what's it called again? The not the value, the variable, and with the value, and it pieces them together. You link them together in here, and when you read it in. And I thought it was really, really interesting. But that's what I did and learned about JSON.
Cool.
So cool.
It was good.
Well, I don't know if anyone else is going to join.
She kind of
Join us.
acted like she was going to come. Michaelin?
Yeah, Michaelin. Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. 20 minutes ago.
Well, I mean, we already kind of did our deal. I'm not eager to sit here and wait forever for anyone else to join up when it's been 20 minutes.
Okay. I'm just going to say, hey, do you need to teach anything? Teach anything.
Your typing is terrible.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Michaelin, do you need to teach anything?
I don't even care. Fine. No, I don't care that much, actually. Do need teach nothing? Good. Well, I think that's it, man. If nobody else is gonna show up, nobody else is gonna show up. So
Yeah, quick question.
yeah,
For when you submitted your portfolio,
right.
what did you send with it? So you sent like a description of understanding and then linked your files to it, right? Was that
Yeah,
it?
yeah. All I did was, that sheet he made for us, the template.
Yeah.
I just wrote down like a paragraph of what I understood, what I learned, and then typed it all up, and then just like put a link to my GitHub or whatever, and to the right places for the files. That's it. And I just submitted it. He hasn't responded back, so I haven't gotten any feedback. Did you send it?
Yeah, I sent it one in about 2 weeks ago. I got his email saying I haven't submitted anything, which I thought was strange.
Uh-oh.
I was,
Well,
yeah.
I responded to his email and I was like, well, here's something. And he
Here's
hasn't
three
responded
things.
back with feedback, so
I think it took him almost a full week to get back to me.
oh, okay. And did
And
he
he just emails you in the Excel grade sheet with X's marked on what he gave you.
okay. And does he give explicit feedback at all, or is it just kind of like, okay, looks good, done?
Um, when you just do sandbox code, from
Mm-hmm.
what I got, it looks good. I want to see, or it looks good. Next step is to write a more advanced program
Right.
with said topic. And that
Okay.
was pretty much it.
So
That's
have
all that I
you
remember getting.
so have you already turned in JSON or no?
No, I literally just finished writing this up about hour ago.
Okay. Hmm. All right. Do you want to? Let's see. I'm hoping to have all of my sandbox because honestly, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time writing extra programs for the coding topics. I'm going to just work on I'm just gonna get Sandbox Code in to disagree for all of them, and then I'm going to work on the diagrams. Do you want to just like pick maybe not next week, but like the week after, and just go over all the diagrams? And we can just write up some diagrams and have something to share with each other, or
So if I'm understanding, do you want to write the diagrams kind of together, like while we're on the call?
yeah, I mean, it's not necessary. Like we don't have to do that. I was just thinking that it'd be a good time to write the diagrams.
Yeah, I mean, teamwork, right? That's what we
Right.
get for. And we're
Right.
writing our own diagrams, but if we're on the call, then
But
we
if
can
we're all,
kind of ask
yeah,
each other, like, hey, what do you think about this? Is this right?
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
maybe not
I
next
think
week,
for
but the
sure.
week after, maybe,
Let me look at my
because that'll put us to week 8.
schedule. Let me look at the plan. It's all part of the plan. Okay. Dang. I still got 6 more topics before the diagrams. And that's got to be diagrams. He said they're supposed to be done by week 10, but on his thing it says we have till week 11 on his sample plan.
Hmm. Do you still have
But
that sample plan? I was looking for it today. The sample schedule, yeah, that.
it's right there.
I'm gonna screenshot that real quick because
Go for it.
I have no idea. Like I was looking for it today, and I was like, man, I cannot find that anywhere.
It's if you go into the community and click on Brother Tuckett's name, pull up
Mhm.
all of his posts, then you gotta scroll down to like week 2 or 3 or something. And then I believe I'm not sure if it shows the picture or if it's just kind of like a download link. I don't explicitly remember.
Cool.
You got it?
Yes, I do.
All right. I got
Thank you.
I gotta try and learn these all 3 this week. That's insane.
I had a friend who's doing. He said that Threads wasn't too bad. That's taking this class in class. Threads isn't too bad. He said HTTP
Connections.
URL is weird. He said it's like all about Android. So
Huh.
I'm gonna go talk to him about it, see what he learned from it.
Did,
MVC.
did you see what Brother Tuckett posted just recently? He said there's not a lot of information about it.
No, I didn't. All right, place before I forget.
Let me see. I just posted it, I think this week. Okay, where was it? Where was it? Weird. I don't know where it is. He for sure posted it. And I
Yeah.
remember it was this huge book on the topic. And I was just remember thinking, there's no way I'm reading this book. It's like 100 pages.
Yeah.
Like for devotionals.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I honestly find it harder to find stuff in the community than even on iLearn. Like iLearn's crappy. I understand that, but it's just as hard to find things on the community as it is. Like I had to Control F search for everything.
And even then, it won't
Yeah, even
find
then
it.
it's not even.
Morgan job. Who the frig is this? Chasing your tail. Never even seen these things. literally, I've never seen these missions. More battle radios.
Are they old? Yeah, they're from
Oh yeah,
May
they're years
31st of
ago. I was like, I've
2014.
never seen these. What is all this? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Unless he deleted it or for whatever reason it's not showing up.
Hmm.
This whole feed's just filled with people's weekly reflections.
Yeah, and that's another thing that makes it hard. Like, I don't want to see their weekly reflections.
Have you been doing a weekly reflection?
No, I haven't. Like, is that something we're supposed to be doing? Like, I assume it is. Like,
I don't know. It didn't sound like we were being graded on it.
so I was
Right.
thinking maybe I just can write like what I learned each week in a journal.
It seems like a strange thing because most people are posting like strange, just kind of strange things.
Yeah, and like they just
This
go off
week
on random
I had
topics.
I had challenge in my humanities class. I'm like, that's nice.
Yeah,
This guy's got JSON about 40 times in his post.
yeah. Um,
This is really
oh,
fun. This guy
I
was fun.
I feel like people are just doing it just because like I don't know if you ever seen the video. There's a sheeple video where
Because
there's
people are doing it.
yeah, because one person's doing it. So they're sitting in a like in a doctor's office, and every time there's a buzzer in the background and it beeps, everyone stands up, and this random person just walked in and is waiting for their appointment, and they start doing it. They don't know why. They're just doing it to follow the crowd. So it was actually a really funny social experiment, but made me laugh.
Yeah. I know I was reading this guy's
That
earlier,
is a
Brandon.
beast. 4.0. I definitely don't have a 4.0.
It was funny though. What did he say? He basically was like, this class is trash. I'm not learning much. As far as what I've learned this week, the answer is not much. I've been reading, doing more with Java, watching videos, looking at code, wrap my head around these topics. There's only so much you can do with zero guidance. And then he's
Yeah.
just like, well, I'll just keep going so I can hopefully meet the deadline.
Yeah, that's why I hate this class. Because this class is the same as it is on campus. Like if you took it on campus, all you do is instead of spending time in your meetings, not during class time, you have these meetings with, and you sit in there and you code for an hour every single day of the week, which is kind of a waste of time in my mind. Like I don't code well sitting in class. And supposedly you're supposed to be able to ask him questions, but he just kind of like he answers his questions like Brother Tuckett answers questions, with a
Like
question.
trying to inspire deeper thinking.
Yeah, and I get why he does it, but
It's just
but
frustrating
if I
sometimes.
but if I wanted to do this, I could do this for free. I wouldn't have. I don't need to pay. You
I don't
know,
need to pay to research.
I don't need to
I can
pay
research on my
to
own.
use free topic to research the same stuff that I would be researching. If I wasn't going to school, I could research the
But
same
you wouldn't
stuff.
have
Use
anybody
the same
grading
tools.
you.
Oh yeah, that's much better.
Somebody evaluating if you actually learn something.
But how would they know? I could just copy and paste code all day.
Well, I think it's fairly easy to tell when there's code that's somewhat
Yeah.
complex or a strange way to do things. It's like, well, I don't think he thought of doing that himself.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it'll be pretty blatant. It's pretty easy to tell who writes their code and who just kind of copy and paste
Copy.
stuff.
Yeah. Maybe they write some, but most of it's copy and pasted.
Hmm. Yeah, like I don't ever turn in homework to him until I actually understand what the code's doing. I might not have written it all, but I've changed it and understand what's happening. So that's
Yeah,
like that's the
especially for
hardest part.
sandbox code. Like even sandbox code, I don't just find sandbox code and submit it. I try and actually really understand what it's doing before I feel comfortable
Yeah, because I
saying
couldn't.
I understand it.
Yeah, right. Because I want to be able to talk about it if he asks me about it. Well, what's this doing? I have no idea.
Yeah, if
Kind
I
of felt
can't walk through
stupid.
the code and say what that part of the code's doing, then
Mhm.
I can't submit it.
Right. Anyway, I don't think anybody's coming, so
So
it was
next
fun.
week,
Till next week.
2 weeks from now, we'll do the diagrams.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, sounds good,
I'll
man.
see you then.
See ya.